Every year, millions of pilgrims from around the globe trek to Mecca to complete the Hajj, the sacred pilgrimage that all Muslims must complete in their lifetime at least once if they are able to. According to a prophetic narration cited in Bukhari, whoever performs Hajj and does not commit any obscenity or transgression will return free from sins as he was on the day his mother gave birth to him. The sheer scale of demand by Muslims all around the world to complete their Hajj has given rise to consumer capitalist models of religious tourism on an unprecedented scale. The cost of Hajj has increased significantly in recent years, generating billions of dollars for the Saudi economy. I'm Kasim, this is KJ Vids, and in this video we will look at the economics of Hajj. Until the introduction of modern transport systems, most Muslims beyond the Arab world had little expectation of completing this vital Islamic obligation. Before the mid-1950s, the number of overseas pilgrims rarely exceeded 100,000, and modern Saudi institutions were still developing. Yet by the early 2000s, the total number of Hajj pilgrims had passed the 2 million mark, reaching a recent peak of just over 3 million in 2012. New opportunities for pilgrims in the jet age have put immense pressure on the infrastructure of Mecca. Hundreds have lost their lives during periodic disasters including fires and stampedes, most recently in 2015, when a stampede and crush of pilgrims in Mina killed at least 2,426 people, according to an Associated Press count. With growing pressure, the Saudi authorities have invested huge sums in continuously seeking to improve facilities and the overall management of the Hajj. The millions who come to Mecca every year bring billions of dollars to the Saudi economy. Restaurants, travel agents, airlines and mobile phone companies all earn big bucks during the Hajj, and the government benefits in the form of taxes. The Saudi economy, which is scrabbling to find other sources of revenue besides oil, has always benefited from the influx of pilgrims, so much so that revenue from the pilgrims makes up an estimated 3% of Saudi Arabia's GDP. Pilgrims usually arrive several days in advance and often stay on for a week or more, generating around $8 billion in revenues and making Hajj Saudi Arabia's second largest income earner after hydrocarbons. Millions also travel every year to perform the Umrah, the non-obligatory pilgrimage that can be performed at any time of the year. Umrah attracted 8 million pilgrims in 2017 and generated a further $4 billion for Saudi Arabia. Under its Vision 2030 strategy, the government plans to attract 30 million a year for Umrah. According to the Mecca Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 25 to 30% of the private sector's income in the region around Mecca and Medina depends on pilgrimage. However, there is little broader data or research on the economic impact of the Hajj as a whole. It is difficult to work out the economic impact of Hajj, as it is so all-encompassing, touching on almost every aspect of the economy, not just Mecca and Medina but all of Saudi Arabia, says Thomas Wigley. The Hajj also has a spillover effect throughout the Middle East for aviation services in particular. Government policy changes on pilgrimage quotas have added to the difficulty of estimating average annual revenue for the kingdom from pilgrimage. In total, it is estimated at $16 billion, but it could be much more than that. Saudi Arabia sets Hajj quotas on the basis of an International Organization of Islamic Cooperation agreement, allowing 1,000 pilgrims per million of the total Muslim population in each sending country, although Saudi Arabia is flexible over the caps. According to Sean McLaughlin, senior lecturer in religion, anthropology and Islam at the University of Leeds in the UK, 75% of non-Saudi Hajj pilgrims come from 8 countries: Indonesia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Iran, Egypt, Turkey and Nigeria, all with Muslim majority populations, and India. But quotas in Muslim minority countries are disproportionately higher. Muslims in the West are privileged as they can go on demand, unlike poorer countries like Indonesia, which homes more than 220 million Muslims. Indonesia is one of the Muslim majority countries where a government agency handles Hajj pilgrimages by holding deposits on behalf of future pilgrims who may wait 30 years or more for a Hajj visa. The deposits are held in a fund used to help subsidise poorer pilgrims. In the UK, Hajj packages average around £4,750, whereas for Umrah the equivalent figure is £1,050. The cost of Hajj going has increased by around 25% in recent years, and the average profitability for operators is said to be £100 to £200 per pilgrim, although I'm sure this is much higher. The Council of British Hajjis suggested that this niche sector of the UK economy is worth around £150 to £310 million, including Umrah. Unlike all Muslim majority nations, Muslim minorities in the West are not restricted to a Hajj quota of 1,000 pilgrims. The Kingdom's Vision 2030, published by Crown Prince Salman in 2016, underlines that the Islamic tourism market has a significant role to play in diversifying Saudi Arabia's non-oil based economy. An investment of $50 billion in new transport and other infrastructure also aims to double the size of the Hajj by the end of the next decade, and the Hajj and Umrah are expected to generate $150 billion of income in the country over the next 5 years, creating a further 100,000 permanent Hajj-related jobs. As Saudi Arabia seeks to move its economic dependency of hydrocarbons and recognises the economic potential of Hajj and Umrah, we are likely to see a greater number of Muslims visiting Mecca and Medina. In addition to this, the arrival of new technologies, if deployed effectively, could help to ease the logistical challenge. But Hajj will always remain one of the most sacrosanct visits a Muslim will make in his life, and the demand is only likely to increase further as Islam remains the fastest growing religion in the world. How the economics of Hajj look like in the future remains to be seen. To everyone who performed the Hajj this year, may Allah accept your Hajj and forgive all of your sins. From me and my team at KJ Vids, Eid Mubarak.